A person's greatness is shaped by their thoughts, a timeless truth proven by visionaries like Elon Musk, Steve Jobs, and Jeff Bezos. In his iconic book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill wrote, "What you think about, you become." But if this is true, why do so many struggle to succeed? Do they not dream of a brighter future? Do they fail to see their own potential? This story unveils the answers, weaving a powerful lesson about success and transformation. Along the way, we'll also learn new words to enrich our English skills. Stay with us until the end. This tale is worth your time. In the heart of a bustling railway station, a beggar eked out a living, asking passengers for alms as they awaited their trains. One crisp morning, he spotted a well-dressed businessman stepping onto the platform, his tailored suit and confident stride radiating success. This man must be wealthy, the beggar thought. If I ask him, surely he'll give generously. With hope in his heart, he approached, extending a trembling hand. But instead of coins, the businessman met his gaze with a piercing question. "Do you always take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?" The beggar froze, stunned by the unexpected words. "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I survive on alms. I have nothing to give." The businessman's lips curved into a faint smile. "If you believe you have nothing to offer, then you have no right to ask for anything. I'm a businessman. I believe in exchange. Offer me something, and I'll give you something in return. But if you have nothing to give, I cannot help you." With that, he boarded his train and vanished into the crowd. The beggar stood rooted to the spot, the words echoing in his mind. "I've begged for years, but no one has ever said this to me." He wasn't cruel. He spoke the truth. If I offer nothing, why should anyone give to me? For the first time, he saw why his outstretched hand rarely received more than pity. He had nothing to offer in return. That night, sleep eluded him. "What can I give?" he wondered. "I'm just a beggar. I have nothing." Yet the businessman's words lingered. If you want to receive, you must first give. 2 days passed, and the beggar didn't ask for a single coin. His mind churned with possibilities. On the third day, as he sat at the station, his eyes caught a patch of wildflowers blooming vibrantly near the tracks. Their colors sparked an idea. What if I offer something in return? What if I give a flower to everyone who helps me? Determined, he plucked a handful of flowers and returned to his spot. When a passerby dropped a coin into his hand, he smiled and offered a flower in return. To his surprise, people accepted them with delight. Some smiled warmly, others thanked him with genuine gratitude. As days passed, something remarkable happened. More people gave, and they gave generously. But only when he had flowers to offer. When his bouquet ran dry, the coins dwindled. It's true, he realized. People value an exchange. One day, as he handed out flowers, he spotted the businessman again, waiting for a train. Heart pounding with excitement, the beggar approached. "Sir, today I have something to give. If you offer me money, I'll give you flowers in return." The businessman's eyes lit up. He handed over a few bills, took a small bundle of flowers, and said, "You've learned the value of exchange. Today, you're no longer just a beggar. You're a businessman." With a nod, he boarded his train and vanished into the crowd. The beggar stood there, the words igniting a spark within him. Am I really a businessman now? He wondered. As he pondered, a revelation struck. I know the secret of success. I'm not just a beggar, I'm a trader. People aren't giving out of pity, they're paying for my flowers. I have a business. With newfound purpose, he made a bold decision. That day, he left the station, never to return as a beggar. 6 months later, at the same railway station, 2 well-dressed men met and exchanged a handshake. One, the businessman, squinted curiously. He asked, "Do I know you?" The other grinned. "Yes, we've met twice before. Right here, on this very platform." The businessman frowned, then gasped. Wait, you're the beggar! The one I refused to give money to and later bought flowers from. The man laughed. That was me? But today, I'm no beggar. I run a thriving flower business and I'm traveling to expand it further. The businessman's jaw dropped. That's incredible. What changed? The flower seller's eyes gleamed. You taught me one of life's greatest truths. We only receive when we give. That day, I realized I was never truly a beggar. I was a businessman all along. I just had to see myself that way. The two men shook hands again, now as equals, before boarding their trains to chase their futures. Your life is shaped by how you see yourself. If you believe you're small, you'll remain small. But if you recognize your inner potential, greatness awaits. Don't limit yourself. See yourself as strong, capable, and successful. When your thoughts change, your future transforms too.
You hear it all the time, don't you? These visionaries like Musk, Jobs, Bezos, they just seem to bend reality somehow.
Like they have this unshakable belief.
Exactly. And you think of Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich, right? What you think about, you become. Powerful stuff.
It really is. The idea that our inner world shapes the outer one.
But okay, if that's true, if thoughts are that powerful, why do so many of us feel stuck? Why don't we achieve what we really want?
Yeah, is it that people don't dream big enough? Or maybe we just don't see the potential that's already there.
That's exactly what we're digging into today. We're doing a deep dive, really, into that very question.
And we've got authority to unpack it.
Yes, a really transformative story. Think of it like a shortcut to understanding some pretty fundamental ideas about success, about self-perception. And honestly, there are some surprising insights in here.
Definitely. And what we're going to explore is not just about, changing your circumstances. It's more about a shift, a fundamental shift in how you see things.
A perspective shift.
Exactly. That kind of shift can lead to profound change. This story, it really gets to the core of, receiving, yes, but maybe even more about giving and how that balance shapes everything.
Okay, let's jump right in then. Picture this scene. A really bustling railway station. You know the kind.
Oh, yeah. Constant motion, noise.
Right. Commuters, trains arriving, departing, just this hum of activity. And right in the middle of it all, there's a man. A beggar. He's just, eking out a living, asking passengers for alms, day in, day out. That's his reality.
Just part of the background noise almost.
Pretty much. Then, one crisp morning, he sees someone different. A man stepping onto the platform, really well-dressed, tailored suit, confident walk, just radiates success.
It stands out from the crowd.
Totally. And the beggar thinks, pretty simply, okay, this guy looks wealthy. He'll probably give generously. That's the hope, right?
The standard calculation, maybe.
So he approaches him, holds out his hand, maybe a little shaky, expecting a coin or two.
The usual transaction.
But what happens next is completely unexpected. No coins, not even a glance away. Instead, the businessman looks him right in the eye.
Okay.
And asks him this piercing question. He says, "Do you always take from others? Have you ever given anything to anyone?"
Wow. That's direct.
Right. You can just picture the beggar's face. He just freezes, stunned. I mean, what a question to get in that situation.
Completely throws him off.
He just stammers like, "Sir, I'm just a beggar. I live on alms. I have nothing to give." That's his truth, right? His whole identity in one sentence.
His reality is he knows it.
But the businessman, he doesn't just leave it there. He gets this little smile, sort of knowing, and he says something really powerful. He says, "If you believe you have nothing to offer, then you have no right to ask for anything. I'm a businessman. I believe in exchange. Offer me something and I'll give you something in return. But if you have nothing to give, I cannot help you." And with that, he just gets on his train, gone.
Leaving the beggar there, not with money, but with that thought.
Exactly. His mind just reeling.
That's such a critical moment. Because it completely flips the script, doesn't it? We usually think of charity as one way.
Right, pity almost.
But this businessman reframes it instantly. It's not about pity, it's about value, exchange. It shifts the whole power dynamic. Suddenly the beggar has to confront his own perceived lack.
Which must be incredibly uncomfortable.
Deeply unsettling, I'd imagine. And it makes you think, doesn't it? What value are we supposed to bring to any interaction?
Like even asking for a job or a favor.
Yeah, exactly. There's usually this unspoken contract, right? Some kind of exchange. The businessman just, He just made it explicit. It forces us beyond just receiving, makes us think about what we actually contribute.
So those words just hang there for the beggar, long after the train's gone. He's just standing there, rooted to the spot, the station noise kind of fading out.
Lost in thought.
He's thinking, I've begged for years.
Yeah.
Years. No one's ever said that to me. And he realizes, the businessman wasn't being cruel. He was just speaking a truth.
A hard truth, maybe.
If I offer nothing, why should anyone give to me? For the first time, maybe ever, he starts to see why he mostly got pity, not much else. It wasn't just poverty, it was this feeling, this belief that he had nothing to offer back.
Nothing to create a real connection, a transaction.
So that night, he can't sleep. His mind's just churning with those words. If you want to receive, you must first give.
The core dilemma.
Yeah, but what can I give? I'm just a beggar, I have nothing. He's stuck in that loop, convinced he's empty.
That self-limiting belief.
For 2 whole days, he doesn't even beg. He's just wrestling with this, his whole routine completely disrupted.
That's significant. He stopped his only known way of surviving.
Then, the 3rd day, he's sitting there, maybe feeling defeated, I don't know, but his eyes land on this patch of wildflowers growing near the tracks, simple, maybe overlooked, but vibrant. And boom, this tiny spark of an idea hits him. Wait, what if I offer something back? What if I give a flower to everyone who helps me?
A simple exchange.
It's humble, right? Born out of desperation, almost. But it has potential. So he gets up, determined, plucks a handful of these flowers.
Takes action.
Goes back to his spot. Next person drops a coin. But this time, instead of just taking it, he smiles and offers a flower.
Okay, how did that go down?
To his total surprise, people loved it. They accepted them, with actual delight. Some smiled warmly, some thanked him, genuinely grateful.
Totally different reaction.
And over the next few days, something amazing happens. More people start giving, and they give more generously. But here's the key part.
What's that?
It only worked when he had flowers. If he ran out, the coins dried up again. It was so clear.
Wow.
He saw it then, plain as day. It's true. People value an exchange.
That is so powerful, because it shows how easily we overlook the value we already have, doesn't it? Especially if it doesn't look like traditional wealth.
But those wildflowers.
Exactly. His initial thought, I have nothing, that's a classic self-limiting belief. He was literally surrounded by a resource. A small offering, sure, but it created connection, reciprocity.
It's like he found a currency he didn't know he possessed.
Precisely. And it shows that giving isn't always about big, grand gestures or tons of money. It's about finding anything.
Yeah.
Anything of perceived value you can offer someone else.
A talent, maybe? A kind word?
Could be anything. Genuine attention to different perspective. It makes you ask yourself, right, how many of us think we have nothing to give when maybe our own wildflowers are right there, just waiting, things we take for granted?
Okay, so let's fast forward a little bit. Another day at the station, the beggar, the flower offering guy, now he spots the businessman again.
The second encounter.
But this time, no fear. His heart's pounding, yeah, but with excitement. With this newfound confidence.
Because he has something to offer.
Exactly. He walks right up to him and says, basically, sir, today I have something for you. If you give me money, I'll give you flowers in return. It's not a plea, it's an offer. A business proposition.
Changes the whole dynamic again.
The businessman's eyes just light up. Recognition, maybe approval. He hands over some money, takes the flowers.
He accepts the exchange.
And then he says something profound. He looks at him and says, you've learned the value of exchange. Today, you're no longer just a beggar. You're a businessman. Gives a nod, gets on his train. Again.
Wow, you're a businessman.
This time, though, the beggar doesn't just stand there confused. Those words, businessman, they ignite something inside him. A huge spark.
A shift in identity.
He thinks, wait, am I really a businessman now? And as he's mulling that over, it hits him. Like a ton of bricks. I get it. I know the secret. I'm not just a beggar anymore. I'm a trader.
He internalizes the label.
People aren't giving me pity money. They're paying for my flowers. I have a business.
The shift is total. Passive recipient to active participant, mendicant to merchant.
That's the real transformation starting.
And right then, he makes a huge decision that day. He walks out of that station, and he never comes back as a beggar, ever. That old life, that old identity, just shed, gone. See, that's where it gets really interesting for me. It's not just a job change, right? It's a total paradigm shift in how he sees himself, his self-identity.
From beggar to businessman in his own mind first.
Precisely. That simple act of offering flowers, participating in an exchange, it let him see himself as someone who contributes, someone who trades value. It just proves that real, deep transformation. It almost always starts inside.
With the story we tell ourselves.
Yes, with how we label ourselves, what we believe we're capable of. That internal narrative is what unlocks the external change. His whole path changed because his self-view changed.
But it wasn't instant, was it? He struggled for those 2 days. What makes it so hard sometimes to shake off an old label, even one we don't like?
That's a really important point. Our self-identity, especially if it's been hammered in by years of experience, maybe negative feedback, it gets deeply ingrained. It's like a cognitive habit.
Hard to break.
Very. Breaking free takes more than just an aha moment. It usually takes action. Consistent action that proves the new identity to yourself.
Like him actually selling the flowers.
Exactly. He didn't just think he was a businessman. He acted like one. And those little validations, the smiles, the coins given in exchange, not pity, they started rewiring his brain.
Yeah.
It takes real courage, to step out of that familiar, even if painful, identity.
Okay, so let's jump forward one last time. 6 months later, same railway station.
The final act.
2 well-dressed men meet on the platform. They shake hands, like equals, respectful.
Okay.
One of them is the businessman from before. He squints a little at the other guy. Do I know you? He sort of recognizes him, but can't quite place him.
The transformation is that complete.
Apparently, the other man, he just grins, big, confident smile. And he says, yes, actually, we've met twice before, right here, on this platform.
Building the suspense.
The businessman is frowning, thinking hard. Then his eyes go wide. A huge gasp of recognition.
Wait a minute, you're the beggar.
He recognizes him.
The one I wouldn't give money to, the one I got flowers from later. He's just astounded. You can imagine.
What a moment. The flower seller, looking sharp now himself, he just laughs warmly. That was me, he says. But look, today, I'm no beggar. I run a thriving flower business.
Thriving.
And I'm actually traveling now to expand it. He's not just getting by, he's growing, building something.
Incredible.
And then he delivers the final core lesson, right there. He looks the businessman in the eye and says, you taught me one of life's biggest truths.
Which was?
We only truly receive when we give. That day when you called me a businessman, I realized I was never really a beggar. I was a businessman all along. I just had to see myself that way. He didn't become one in 6 months. He realized he already was one, deep down.
The potential was always there.
The 2 men just stand there for a second, the station buzzing around them. They shake hands again, but this time absolutely as equals. Then they board their trains, heading off to futures they actively created.
What a powerful illustration.
Yeah.
It shows so clearly how that internal story we tell ourselves, who we are, what we can do, it literally shapes our reality.
It wasn't luck, was it?
Not at all. The flower seller's journey, it's the direct result of changing his self-definition. From I have nothing to I am a trader. The outside world just aligned with his new internal belief.
It really ties back to those visionaries we mentioned at the start, doesn't it? Musk, Jobs, that deep conviction came first.
Absolutely. And think about that question we started with. Why do so many struggle? So often, it isn't a lack of talent or opportunity. It's that internal block.
That belief of, I can't, or I don't have anything.
Exactly. This story suggests our biggest limits are usually the ones we place on ourselves, which, raises a crucial question for you listening. How often do our own beliefs stop us from seeing the businessman or the visionary inside? How many chances do we miss just because we haven't shifted how we see ourselves first?
So wrapping up this deep dive on the beggar who became a businessman, it really hits home, doesn't it? The power to change our future, it isn't just out there, it's as a K. It's profoundly within our thoughts.
And in our willingness to engage in exchange, to give.
Right. When your thoughts about yourself change, your future really can transform too. It's about spotting that value you already have that you bring to every situation, whether it's a skill, an idea, or maybe just a flower or a smile.
Finding your own wildflowers.
Yeah. So what really stands out to you from this story? How might you start to look at your own situation a bit differently now? Maybe start looking for those hidden wildflowers you possess, even if right now you feel like you have nothing to give. That small shift, that choice to offer something, anything. It could be the biggest change you make.
And maybe as you go about your day today, just ponder this. What hidden potential, what overlooked resource might you have? Something that if you identified it, if you offered it, could spark a totally new kind of exchange in your life.
Leading to unexpected transformation.
Exactly. Don't limit yourself by old labels or what you think you lack. Start by challenging how you see yourself and, crucially, your amazing capacity to give. Because often it's in giving that we discover just how much we really have.